Hi everybody, welcome back. Again, I'm so sorry about all this confusion and about being 17 minutes late, but this is what happened. Lee, can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you fine.
Okay. Hello, Lee, and welcome back. So this is what happened. I log on for this webinar today, and I say hi to Lee Honish, and instead I hear some ladies talking. I thought maybe he got a new assistant or something. So I try to talk to her, and she's one of the attendees. So I have no idea how somebody was able to log on as Lee, but that wasn't him, and that prevented him from getting on this webinar. So thank you for finally somehow figuring out how to get on this webinar.
Yeah, that was weird. I'm not logged into that event, but it won't let me log in.
That's what I said. Somebody else is, for some reason, and again, I'm sharing this with the entire audience. What happened is, as an organizer, log on, and then somebody else is showing in the GoToWebinar system as Lee Honish, but that is one of the attendees. So she literally took your spot and wouldn't allow you to log on.
Well, if she logged out, then I could log in. But, you know, whatever, neither here nor there. If you're all here, that's fine. My name is Lee Honish. We are on the RealtyProx page. Obviously, I don't have screen sharing. I'm just in by phone. Vlad, if you could, just put it on honish.com.
Sure. Yeah, if you can just kind of direct me, I can do that, and so we can get something out of this. This is pretty terrible situation.
Let's do some unique stuff. This will be Lee Honish by proxy on my website. So all of you following along, and you have the web, since I have no hands, here's what we're going to do. We're going to go to honish.com today, and we're going to talk more about direct marketing, which is what we do. For those of you who don't know, while we get that up on the screen, my name is Lee Honish. I'm the former head loss mitigator for IndyMac Bank's HELOC division. I started in 1986, 7, 8. It's all kind of blurry now. I did REOs and foreclosures until the early 90s. Then I went to work for GMAC Homecomings. Then I worked as a residential developer and builder and realtor. Then I went to work at IndyMac Bank as an asset manager. And 7.5 years ago, I taught the first short sales in North America. I did that for 5 years straight, taught 50,000 real estate agents, did hundreds of thousands of hours of presentations, and ultimately 3.5 years ago, I became a private consultant and focused on one very simple message, and it's probably the message you all have because it's very difficult right now, and that is how, that's a good question, how do I get a listing? And so I've literally dedicated my entire physical being on how to get listings. And it was all done through a guy by the name of Seth Godin. And if you don't know who Seth Godin is, my recommendation is to go pick up his books. Seth Godin is a man that I would love to call a friend. And he is an amazing writer who in the early 90s wrote a book called Permission-Based Marketing. So I was privately consulting, and I build out real estate offices or reconstruct them. Sort of like Restaurant Impossible or Hotel Impossible, I do real estate office impossible. So I come in on a Monday, and within a few days I get everybody's marketing and everything back up to speed. I can't do it in 48 hours like Robert Irvine. It usually takes me about a week, and that's what I did, and that was the staple. That was the bread and butter of what I did. Fix documents, fix people, increase revenue, and I was very successful at it. It just was a lot of work because it's a lot of personalities. And what I discovered as I traveled from real estate to real estate office, and the more I talked to people, is that it's a national, it's like a pandemic. It's a national issue. And right now we're on my website, honish.com. This whole website is over 500 pages of information. It's now had 500,000 page reads. Hopefully you're on it right now. Normally, the second thing, if you look at the top, it says events, free marketing, about, blog, 20 login, Vortex, bank info, and web marketing. Click on the free marketing link. I'm going to show off some things that a lot of people don't normally see when they're here. And if you scroll down, twice a year I get on these jags, or once a year. I try to do it twice a year. The first one was in 2012. It was called Underwater Sunshine. And the second was called The 16. Normally they happen around Christmas time, where I write 16 consecutive blogs, plus or minus a dozen to 16 blogs of free marketing ideas. And I think the biggest of all time that most people, you guys are all on the call and you want short sales. All right, so let's talk about short sales for just a brief moment. To get a short sale, you fundamentally have to understand you are dealing with homeowners that are in distress. There is no process by which I know of where you can go to the door physically and convince somebody to sell their house until they've exhausted every effort of trying to keep their house. Now, I know that sounds crazy, but short sales as a business starting in December of this year are on a 66% upswing. And I was going to ask you about this, Vlad. Have you seen an increase on RealtyProx and with National Closing Center? Everybody I've talked to has said that there's been a monstrous increase.
We did. It just depends on the state. Yes, exactly. I would say since like right after winter holidays, Christmas, New Year's, right after that, especially in so-called judicial states.
Yeah, it's recently, and for those of you who got the information about attending this event, RealtyProx pretty much in the last quarter of last year said, everything's over, everything's fine, we're in the final inning of the short sale foreclosure period, it's all over. They've recently put out a brand new piece on DS News. It's also available on the RealtyProx website. Foreclosure filings in the first quarter have been up 8% from this time last year. In fact, the numbers have basically gone through the roof, year over date and overall. And here's why. At 91 days at 5 p.m., a bank will use traditional methods to try to collect money. After the third missed payment from a bank, the bank will then send them information about a loan modification. Pretty much anybody who fills out a loan mod application in any way, shape, or form, that will keep them from losing their house for approximately a year or so. And they'll more than likely get approved. 90% of the people who miss 3 payments will go all the way to foreclosure. Okay, they'll never make another payment again. And in that 4th month, a bank will send them a loan modification application, which here's why they do it. Generally speaking, it takes about 18 months for a property to be, if just standard traditional foreclosure methods. And that is the model that has held true for 7 straight years. And we're talking strictly data, all right? When we talk marketing, you have to talk data, period. You have to talk, who am I talking about? We're talking short sales. There are only 2 points to get a short sale listing that are viable. You get them before they know about a loan mod and you educate them, or you get them after they've defaulted on their loan mod. Either point is acceptable, and either point is a good place to pick up a new listing. Now, the reason I bring that up, you can come to one of my live events. I will be in Tucson Thursday, or you can, let's see, where am I next week? I might be in Costa Mesa. But I generally, I'm all over the country, and I do this presentation, and it always starts with the data. Let me make this clear. You can't buy short sale leads. They do not exist, and it's for a simple reason. Nobody has talked to the homeowner first, and that's something I find slightly amusing. People buy leads thinking they're real leads. It's never a lead until somebody has physically talked to them. So today we're going to focus on the data, right? When you sign up with RealtyProx and you use their services as well, right, for processing short sales. I always butcher the name, Vlad. I do apologize. National Closing Center. They have good data for you to use. They will never tell you it's a lead. They will give you good data to use. Now, I'm going to explain the data points that I think are specific to getting a short sale. you want to get them either at 3 missed payments before they get their loan mod package, or you get them after they've defaulted on their loan mod. Because if they're in their first process of getting a loan mod, and they're, here's how you can tell. They're pushing back the sale date by 30 days. They're pushing back the sale date by 30 days. They're pushing back the sale date by 30 days. Those are people holding on to a dream. Now, here's something I can tell you mathematically. 50% of people who apply for a loan mod will default on a loan mod, which means you either get them in 3 missed payments before they go into that crazy little world, or you get them after they've defaulted on their loan mod. And there's an easy way to tell if they've defaulted on their loan mod. You pull a less pendants or an NOD, right? They've been publicly posted as defaulted, and then it goes away. It disappears. Or they had a sale date, and it disappears. Now it's about a year later, or 6 months later, 3 months later, and they have they have a new sale date. Simply put, that's it. And the bank doesn't really stop the process once they're posted. So that's how you can find them either at the back end or at the front end. Certainly you can ask a homeowner if they had a loan mod previously. People do not get reapproved once they've defaulted on the loan modification. My preference when I am coaching my students who pay me money, who are monster students, I tell them point blank to use 30, 60, 90 data. Now, why do I say 30, 60, 90 data? Because I'm sure many of you heard, I could buy 30-day lates, I could buy 60-day lates, and I could buy 90-day lates. You can only buy out of one big basket. You cannot tell if it is a 30, a 60, or a 90. No matter how much you pay, no matter what that person tells you, I'm telling you 100%, it's one piece of data. That's all those companies can get. It can range anywhere from $1 a name up to $5 a name. But as long as you're using a targeted approach, that's the way to go about it. So today I'm going to show you some free ways to target those 91-day people. So let's assume you get your hands on 91-day lates. Okay? Let's assume you get your hands on the 91 or that basket of lates. They have not gotten their loan mod information. They know they're late. They don't have any intention of paying anymore. They're waiting for their loan mod application. Okay, or a miracle. Generally speaking, people just ignore it until it becomes serious. Now, the first item you see under Underwater Sunshine Series 2012, you'll see how to make your own book for $10. There are several of them on that page. That link, as well as there's some updated versions on that same page, are white label loan modification books. You want to click on the link, and you want to print one out. It's as simple as that. If you scroll down on the page, Vlad, the second series, there's one called RealtyProx and Marketing Pieces. If you click on the RealtyProx one, I'm going to show you some really cool stuff. This is one of my favorite pages, and scroll down midway on the page. All right. It shows you to get data. You can certainly sign up for RealtyProx, and I've got a relationship with them. They've been at many of my events. You will see a series of documents that you can download for marketing pieces. Those are the real deals. And then you pull your data, your 30, 60, 90s, right? There's also a video, and I believe it's one of our webinars that we've done here that'll show you how to do it. You put them in an envelope, and basically some door filler as well, and just go and drop them in a file cut folder and put it at their front door. You want to put approximately 20 or so of them a day, each day, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. It'll take you about an hour, hour and a half. I recently had a student join my program who could not afford to be in the Monster Marketing program. And I would love for each and every person to be involved in the Monster program because it is an automated way to get appointments with homeowners. That's it. I don't like saying that because you have to physically put the marketing piece up, but once you do, it is an automated process to get yourself an appointment. In this version that I'm giving you right now, because I know that many people are on a budget, basically You put the marketing piece at the door. They will call you. You will need to do something called a squeeze. What is a squeeze? A squeeze means when they call you, you need to get an appointment, a cell phone number, and an email. That's also what the Monster does. That is one of the automated processes that the Monster does. And when I model even my free marketing based on my, my marketing approach that I coach, they have to be congruent. I'm always interested when I go and see a speaker, teach one thing for free that is not viable, let's say door knocking or phone calling or any of those methodologies, because they have such a low percentage. I prefer permission-based marketing pieces. I prefer white label loan mod books. I prefer marketing pieces about loan mods, because if a person is 30, 60, 90 days late, they're going to have to be prepared for it. They're going to have to try and do a loan mod, or they're going to have to be educated and understand. And I want to talk about that as part of this call. A lot of people don't get this. They'll go to the door, oh, they just want the loan mod. Did you tell them to call from a scripting standpoint, when somebody goes to the door, you as a real estate agent, you need to go to the door and physically explain that you're an advocate who's there to help them, okay? And that's why we do the certification programs that we have. And you'll see it listed all there. Everything I've got is listed here, and it's all under free. I can't charge for this stuff because it's a good method. It just requires a lot of physical work. You put the marketing piece in place, as I've outlined. They will call you. If you put 20 to 40 up per day, an hour and a half to 2 hours worth of work per day, every single day you'll have appointments, because when they miss those first payments, they're going to want a loan mod. So you go and you talk to them and you try to be an advocate. And you try to have them call the bank. There are two significant things that you need to know about loan mods and homeowners and why they always become short sale listings. 50% of the people who apply for a loan mod are going to default, no matter what. All right? If that's a truism, here's the reality. The reason that happens, they sign up for a loan mod, they go through the process for whatever period of time, they get their document back. The thing you need to remember is this. Item number one, it's the biggest item, is that their payment is going to be for more money than what their original payment was if they do get approved for a loan mod. That's item number one. And the homeowner does not know that. They think they're getting a deal, the government's making them do it, everybody should stop paying, and everybody should get a loan mod for a lower payment. Item number two, there's no equity reduction in a loan mod. There's no such thing. Equity reductions don't exist. They tried that a couple of years ago. They paid down some loans. It just didn't really work out by and large. The market never corrected itself. It was a horrific waste of taxpayer money. It was an unspeakably dumb thing to do to buy down balances. It would be better to give a homeowner $50,000 cash as a move-out package on a short sale than it would be to pay down a loan, because people specifically won't make payments after they've missed payments. People do not understand that, because here's the simple reason. There are just no jobs to support paying for a house. People don't live to their means. They borrow beyond their means. Our packages, our default package, and what you're looking at on the screen on the free marketing page, are all designed to get you face-to-face with homeowner in that kind of stressful situation. And the big key at the door is to just build the relationship. Not to close them, not to sell them on a short sale, but to physically just, hi, my name's Lee. I'm here to, you called about a package. I brought you a package. I know you want a loan mod. I know you're late on your payments. It's public information. I'm a local area advocate. I'm not here as a real estate agent. I'm just trying to help you. It doesn't cost you anything. Is it okay to follow up with you? The reality is none of you on this call have ever gotten a listing by meeting somebody face-to-face at the door, reading a script, talking to them, first time, eyes on, ever. Nobody on this call has done it. I may have one person on this call who did it one time. I do the survey at every event. Here's the statistical probability of you meeting someone, reading a script, meeting them first time to get them into a listing. 1 in 1,000. That is the odds. for every 1,000 houses you list, you met the person first time, talked to them, created the relationship, and they give you the listing on the spot. The other 999 listings were obtained by meeting someone, building a relationship, and following up, 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 and following up. Getting a short sale listing is no different. I build a relationship based on the loan mod, and then I follow up, and I follow up. I know this as 100% certainty stuff I'm talking about, the stuff I've sent to some of you as being a part of these webinars. And everybody on this call, I'm going to send you a package just like this that will help you follow up and to do this whole package step by step. Everybody, because we have an attendee list for everybody, and apparently including me. I'll get my own package after the event, which is strangely nice. But the reason I bring that up and the reason I say that, go to the door, build a relationship, give them a white label book. I go back, I follow up, I follow up. I call them, I follow up. I use slide dial, I leave them a message. I use SMS text messaging and I follow up. I send them an email, I follow up. I know you want to do the loan mod, I'm following up. Have you gotten the new payment amount? Have you been approved by the bank? Follow up, follow up. Help them push to get their loan mod faster. The quicker they get their loan mod in their hand and find out that their payment is going to be for more, the sooner you get a listing. That's the reality, and people don't follow up. They barely fill out their loan mod paperwork. They drag their feet. It gets serious towards the end, and then they push really hard to close their loan mod. If you really want short sale listings, build a relationship early, pay or get good data, sign up for RealtyProx and National Closing Center, ask them for good data, follow up, push for the data, follow up, follow up, follow up, follow up, follow up. I can't stress it enough. Even with my own coaching students, it's imperative. It requires work to get a listing. The guy who recently joined my group could not afford to join the monster group. And I said, all right, here's my free package. Same one I'm talking to you about. Here's what I would use. Here is, a file folder. They're inexpensive. They're astronomically free at your real estate office. I mean, those are the best marketing pieces. You can print out your marketing pieces in your office to keep the cost down, right? And go put them on 20 doors a day. He did it for 1 week. He got the appointments. Out of those appointments, he got a listing that was for $1 million. Literally within a couple of weeks, his broker gave him an advance. He showed him what he had done and the guy who had done it. And he called me up, and he asked if he could join my coaching group. And I said yes. And now he's got the automated version. You see the link that says Buy the Monster on the right, Vlad, just slightly at the top of the screen? If you click on Buy the Monster and scroll down, I've set up the page before the call. There's a video up that will show how the Monster works, me physically using it, and I put up my 3-payment plan, 1 payment $997, 3 payments of whatever it is, $399, and so on and so on. The online price, if you were to go to the actual learn more about the Monster, which is on the right side of the screen, it's $1997. I've got up my event pricing for being on the call today. It's basically a very simple automated process. You can watch the video and watch me do it. You print out a template, you go put the marketing pieces up, and then an automated process occurs. Homeowner will come home, find the marketing piece, they will call into a call center. The call center will then send you an email with an appointment, their cell phone, and in most cases, their email address. You call and you follow up with them about the appointment. We will give you a custom short sale package. And once you take that package to the door, we will actually do a one-on-one startup call, and we'll work on you on what to say at the door, so you can build that relationship, and then you follow up. Let me make it clear: I'm not a data provider, and I'm not a call center. You have to obtain your own data, and you have to use the call center we recommend. I am not affiliated with the call center. I'm not affiliated with any data providers. I am a marketing guy, and I am a closing guy. I'm here to get you face-to-face. We have a guaranteed result of getting you face-to-face with homeowners. We guarantee that face-to-face result or you get your money back. There is no marketing program that does a 100% guarantee on face-to-face appointments. None. Zero. Zilch. Does not exist. I've seen partial refunds. I've never seen a 100% refund on on a product to return your money back if the product does not work. The product works. I have a 1% return rate because the product works. I have 400 students, and I've only had the return of 4 systems. I think it recently won because I had someone return it because they were getting face-to-face appointments, but they didn't know what to do at the door. They had literally 30 face-to-face appointments over the course of 1 week, and they got frustrated when they went to the door. What I discovered is many people aren't comfortable at the door. They don't know how to build relationships. So we include coaching, and we focus on building that relationship. We do not have a monthly fee on our coaching. I do not want a percentage of your listings. I want a one-time fee, not $1,000 a month, not $50 a month, not anything. You pay one time with me, and I will coach you every week on a private coaching call. I will. That is included with the cost when you sign up. There is a online Facebook group that is private to my coaching group. They are all on there talking data sources and pieces every day. And that's included with the purchase price. Your startup and your walkthrough with Diana, who's a real estate agent as well. We will walk you through and get you set up so that you can use the template immediately. All of that for one price of $997. If you decide to do 2 or 3 payments, it's a little bit more, but all of them are less than $1997. There you go. That's how to use my website for today. That's an interesting call, Vlad. Are there any questions from anybody?
Yes, I'll check pretty soon. Thank you so much, Lee. So yeah, I'm surprised actually that pretty much everybody who got on this call stayed, and so again, for those who joined a little bit later, this is not the webinar we intended.
No, I have slides. I got all new slides.
Lee had slides, and we thought about CDAT certification, I believe, this time, and all of that thing. Yeah. So we're going to have to do it next time.
Next time, everybody involved, I am writing a brand new, people don't know this about this. I do this every 2 weeks. Sometimes I do the same material, sometimes I don't, because my marketing has not changed since the first call. It is all permission-based. You put something in place, the more you can automate the process to getting face-to-face, the better. Squeeze, follow up, get a listing. There's no other formula to getting direct marketing done, and in this market, it's short sales. Vlad will attest to it. Anybody who's been on all of these calls will tell you my marketing has been the same. Today I got a chance to actually show you what's on the website. Next, in 2 weeks, I'm going to do, because I have not done it, and it'll force me to build it out, I'm going to do a real CDAT certification with brand new slides, and I will certify everybody that's on the call. You don't have to attend. Normally you have to attend my live events to get the CDAT certification. I will do it. I don't know. If they're on the call today, they've endured a lot. I might actually send out the links today so that they can be on the CDAT thing. But you want to be on next week, and I'll explain to you how the code of ethics works for being a realtor, which is really the code of being a CDAT advocate. It is a registered trademark. You can go to defaultadvocate.org, but next in 2 weeks we'll do it, and I'll show you where to register, how you register your company, so that it's logged onto the website. You can drive your customers and the testimonials that are on there that help people get off loan mods and into short sales, all of that. And certainly if there's anybody who's thinking about doing the monster, sign up. These are my actual event pricing. You cannot beat this price. It will never go cheaper. $997 is the cheapest I do, and I turn it off and on generally for this webinar every couple of weeks or at my live events. Otherwise, it's $1997 online. And if you're on this call and you have more questions about the monster, I don't want to, this isn't a big sales pitch. I just know that I bring it up and then people go, okay, how much is the monster? Well, here you go. 2 weeks ago, I did nothing but the monster and people complained. All right, fine. I'm not going to do that again. So you can call Diana at 213-706-0040. And today, in a few hours, all these links will be turned off. then it'll be available in Tucson. When I do my Tucson event, they will have a form. They will be able to sign up at that price. I only have 45 seats. Otherwise, you'll have to go online and pay $2,000 one time. There are no payment options. It's $19.97, period. And I have people who pay that all day long, especially investors, because I can put them face-to-face with homeowners, and they can get new deals. That's my big, long speech on the whole subject.
All right, so I see one question, which is an interesting question. What is the short sale market today in Phoenix, Arizona? I don't know if that agent is in Arizona, or they are moving to Arizona, or they're looking for our opinion. I personally don't have an opinion because honestly, we don't get a lot of deals from Arizona. They had interesting local laws implemented that prevented our sister company processing many short sales there. So maybe Lee has something to say. I actually have nothing to say about Arizona because we don't do that many deals in Arizona.
I do. Hold on. Sorry, I was switching out. I was trying to lower my window so I don't fry to death. Getting my car work done before I drive out to Arizona. Phoenix, the market was completely blown up because of the upswing. So much like what happened, this is the major metros. They all had the same issue over the last year. Going into last summer, the people that did short sales did short sales. And there are still quite a few properties in the Phoenix area that are underwater, and there's still quite a few people. Unemployment is a huge issue in Phoenix. So the subject of short sales is still very real. But going into last year from an economic standpoint, and this happened, let me make this clear. This happened in 25 major metros. And this was the general perception of real estate agents. Well, it's not happening in my market. Well, yeah, you're right. Last year, prices dramatically went up, right? So we freeze REOs. We approve everybody's loan mods. We have this rock bottom interest rate, and the prices just shoot up. And people are, well, short sales are over. We go into the summer, they raise the interest rate, and we find out once you freeze out the investors, which is what they did, it froze out investors by bringing in auction.com on defaulted properties. It scared away investors. They also cracked down on people doing pocket listings who were working with brokers. A lot of weird things happened. There are a lot of key elements. For those of you who are really big into Freakonomics, there are a lot of key components that drive this market. There are ways for banking and regulatory and government locales to tweak the market to increase or decrease the value of property. And the problem is that with the way unemployment is structured, nobody can afford the houses that are out there. I mean, you have to have a pretty substantial job to buy a house and to get approved for a loan right now. Nobody's giving away money. We're not doing interest-only spit and spackle loans, no docs and low docs, and 660 FICOs for 100% financing. I mean, that's crazy. When the economy is great, you can do that stuff, but the economy has to cycle, and that's the structure of the dollar. So to answer your question in a long, drawn-out way, what you're seeing right now is an upswing of short sale activity for, I will tell you, the market. The major markets. Why? Because unemployment is still double digits. We can all dance around the subject and make it whatever we want. But if I live in the San Diego area. The cost of living in San Diego is insanely high. Insanely high in San Diego. I never hide from that fact. It is insanely high here. And I just read a study that more people are moving out than people moving in. Why? Because there's no jobs in San Diego. If I were to post a job right now for $12 to $15 an hour on Craigslist or Backpage as an assistant for me, I would get college education people, law backgrounds, you name it, 15, 20 bucks an hour. I can get somebody with a legal background as my assistant. I can get an assistant that would blow my mind with a college education because jobs are so scarce in this market. And that's reality. And if I'm making 20 bucks an hour, how am I buying a $300,000 or $400,000 or $500,000 house? I mean, let's just be realistic. That's the median price in my San Diego area. So you look at the median price and you figure out what kind of job you need to maintain it. This is how you can figure out the market and what kind of, So the median price for Phoenix, I was in Sandy, Utah the other day. Median price is $150,000 to $200,000. Here's what a 30-year fixed payment would look like. That would mean I'd have to make X amount of dollars per hour. What kind of jobs do I need to have to make X amount of dollars? You can figure this stuff out. And you can see that those types of jobs just simply don't exist. And in a high demand, sure, working at Walmart, working at Starbucks, working at a convenience store or fast food or even at a restaurant locale, you can get paid, but you got to be a double income if you really want to buy a house. You got to, if you're going to be a blue-collar life, that's a two-income household. It's difficult. The economy is extremely difficult. I completely understand it because real estate agents themselves are a part of that very difficult economy. It's very hard to predict. If you're an average agent, you're basically taught and told to spend $1,000 a month to get anywhere near decent coaching. When I created my coaching program and the pricings that I came up with, I mean, it was unheard of to do a one-time payment with weekly coaching for life for free 3.5 years ago. No one will ever believe that. No one will ever do it. No one will ever buy into that. You have to make them pay and have to keep. No, I don't believe that. I mean, I just simply, like, when you get trained, you should be trained to do something, and then it should just be reinforcement and encouragement and working on perfecting your skills. And the group as a whole should be a part of that process. I build a relationship with my students based on that. I'm not out to monetize and remonetize. And most educational processes are you pay a lot of money and you pay it every month, and if it doesn't work, it's your fault that it didn't work. There's no standards held when it comes to marketing training. I mean, the training calls that I've been doing here for RealtyProx every 2 weeks, I know for a fact that there are big-name trainers. And if Craig Proctor, Mike Ferry, Tom Ferry, and Patrick Ferry were here right now on this call, I would share the same information that I share with you. Permission-based marketing, by and large, does not cost a lot of money. It is less labor-intensive. It doesn't require scripts. It requires relationship building. It requires the skills that you had that helped you get into your current relationships that you're in with other people. You know, you turn enemies into friends, you turn friends into customers, and you build lifetime relationships. The reality is that is extremely low cost to no cost to do. And the education to learn it is very low cost to no cost to learn. That's why my prices are so inexpensive to invest. You know, it's a one-time investment. I don't want to charge you every month. We're getting ready to do my birthday training, which I'm sure I will try desperately to talk Vlad into coming and being on my tech panel, but he can bring his wife and be in Vegas, so it's an excuse. But once a year I do these birthday trainings just for my coaching students, and we don't charge a lot of money. I know for a fact other people would charge $300, $500. I'll tell you for a fact, I'm doing a 3-day in Anaheim in about 30 days. It is a $2,500 a seat investor training. A lot of those people will be speaking at my event where I'll only be charging, and it's invitation only, right? My coaching students, where they only get charged like $97 or $197, which is enough to cover the cost of the training room and getting people out there. That's it. I'm not out to make a profit on the people that have already invested in me. And I live a very happy lifestyle. I know a lot of people joke because I say I live in a shack at the beach. Well, my backyard is on the sand. I don't think a lot of you freezing to death right now can say the same thing. I have an ex-wife and a daughter, and her stepfather. They live in a wonderful house, and I pay for that house. My mother and all those bills, I pay for those bills. I have another place that a friend is living in. I'm actually going to get ready to re-rent it. But I afford all those things. I afford physical things, right? Myself, I'm a minimalist. I don't need much. I know what I need to get by and be happy. My fiance, I know what it takes to buy her what she wants and to take care of her. I know physical dollar amounts of what I have to do, and I know that I don't have to charge monthly fees. I know I don't have to be a coach like everybody else. I'm telling you that if I was a coach like everybody else, these coaching calls every 2 weeks would be totally different. I know how they'd be taught. They'd be taught the exact same way every 2 weeks. You'd be told the same thing every 2 weeks. You'd literally be told the same things every 2 weeks. It would not be changed. You would not see free marketing on the screen. You would not see a website. Like, I'm telling you, you click on that marketing link, that free marketing link. Those things are all tested and were told to me by people who got listings using those free marketing methods. And I asked if I could share them, and I do. I mean, I could easily make a career out of half that stuff that's on that screen. That's reality. Those are all real things that have gotten people listings. The coaching program averages out to getting a listing per month. I guarantee you get face-to-face. Nobody does that. Nobody offers those kinds of things. So there you go. Hope that answers your question about the market and coaching and direction.
All right. Well, let's take one more question and then conclude this more successful webinar than I thought initially, because I thought it was going to be canceled in the middle of the webinar because I was freaking out. I didn't know what to do without Lee. I was not prepared to do this webinar, so thank God he got on. All right, last question. Can you please explain further how any loan mods are agreed to if payments are higher, as you say? So in other words, how does that work? How people are thinking if they're going to loan mod, there's surely, definitely 120% they're going to get lower payments. So how does that work?
Yeah, I know. Okay, so generally speaking, the only time to look for data, let's go back to the data source, and it's a good conversation, and we'll make it really good for the call. At 91 days at 5 p.m., you're officially 3 months late, right? They were on an interest-only or a pick-a-pay. I don't care about the HELOC because they stopped paying that a long time ago, usually. It's on the first loan, that stupid pick-a-pay, option arm, 3-pay, interest-only, interest with, right? So they can't even pay that. They can't pay the lowest possible payment, much like a credit card, the lowest interest-only payoff credit thing ever, right? They can't do it. Just can't happen. They are incapable of even making those payments. So the third missed payment. Now, I don't know where it happens because I know it's not a call center thing at the bank. I know it's a package that goes out that starts it. So I would imagine it's word of mouth and or beliefs of how the market or the economy works. I don't know where it started. I've tried to look at it. I've tried to believe in a lot of things. There's a thing called HARP. The HARP program was designed a couple of years ago as a package by the current presidency to assist homeowners that qualify. Now, HARP is real. It is a refinance program for people who have a difficulty making payments, but are making their payments. There is not really a loan mod program that I'm aware of for people who don't make payments. So what people do is they sign up for what's called a trial loan mod program. This is the whole history. Last year, in the third quarter of last year, Wells Fargo lost a case on a trial loan mod. This is how banks change what they do, by the way. They wait for a lawsuit. The lawsuit loses or wins, and that dictates the policy because now it's called case law. So there was case law that said if I make my payments on a trial loan mod, you have to give me a loan modification. So basically they had to flush all these trial loan mods out of the system and submit everybody for a real loan mod. And that's going to take a period of time. It'll take like about a year before they get real loan mod apps and things into place and qualifiers to make it look like a real process. Not to mention, for every application on a loan mod that is submitted to a bank, they get a dollar figure from the U.S. government as part of the bailout program, part of this HARP program that was initiated. Right? They get X amount per application. So they want everybody to fill it out. They know everybody's not going to qualify. Now, how do I know for sure their payment's not going to be for less? It's very simple. A real loan modification, and ask homeowners. It's simple in the scripting. You were on an interest-only before. 99% of them will have been on interest-only payments before. Okay, so you're hoping to get a brand new 30-year fixed, amortized 2%, 3% payment. right? 4%, 5%. Who cares? You can use your simple mortgage calculators and look up the numbers for them. Most of you should, as real estate professionals, have a mortgage calculator as an app on your smartphone. It is the bread and butter of this business. I'm going to teach you how to script off loan mods using your mortgage app. So pull it out, and you can type this in. So homeowner, what was your payment before? What is approximately your loan balance? $300,000. Okay, what was your interest-only payment or your minimum payment before you stopped paying? X amount of dollars. Was that principal and interest and everything included? No, go through all the questions. Okay, so you are hoping to get a loan modification, brand new, 3%. What do you think? 3%, the current market rate is 3%, 4%, whatever it is. It fluctuates every day. Plug that in on the number that they think is their outstanding balance. 30-year fixed rate, starting from today, re-amortized. Going to be more than what their interest-only rate was. Simple as that. And that's how the bank does it. 50% are going to fall through. Most people are going to freak the F out when they see that their new payment's going to be less, more than what they're currently paying. Real HARP qualifiers are you make your payments and you have a job. That is not what we're talking about here. You can get plenty of short sale listings doing it the other way. People are obsessed with bad data. Oh, I saw somebody and they spoke and they said that this was good data, and there are a lot of people out of business with that model. There was a data program, I don't want to give away the name, but they claimed that they had short sale leads, and they were using the same. The name of the data plan was the same as the Mortgage Debt Relief Act, HR 3648, for those of you who are a part of that program, and they might be around. They're basically selling NOD data. They give you unique marketing pieces on NODs. I mean, it's really hard to use that data. I'm not a fan of the way that program was structured. And if it got you a listing and you used it, fantastic. And if they were on this call, I'd share the same data. That's a lot of work, and you're paying a lot of money for. Basically, I have all the same stuff for free, done in a much more concise and timely factor.
All right, so this is our webinar today, I guess. There's no more questions at this point, and thank you so much for being on this webinar. Thanks so much for enduring the horrendous beginning of this webinar. I hope you do come back in 2 weeks when Lee has his slides, when he's properly on the webinar. I'll make sure I'll take all the precautions and talk to GoToMeeting and make sure that doesn't happen again. And as I said, you're probably going to do a CDAT certification, have your slides.
We are.
Yeah. So that's good, and I hope you still got something out of this webinar. I did. So thanks again. Thanks, everybody, for attending. I will see you in 2 weeks, and have a good day, everybody.
Great. Thank you.
Bye-bye.